Cheers. Hey, why did you paint that? That's what we're going to talk about. Why did you paint that? I found, watching a lot of videos about artists talking about stuff, I realized that what people really want to hear, especially people who just don't do art, what they really want to know, and this is the first question people used to ask me, and I kind of forgot. And people don't really ask me anymore. Maybe I'm a little clearer why. Anyways, this is the question. Why did you paint that? So why? Not your process or how you did it. But why? Why did you paint that? I painted this because I painted a little tiny white lion or white tiger before, and I thought, oh, that's cool. I want to paint a bigger one. And so I just was like going after, realistic looking. I looked at whatchamacallit, an image, the picture of it, a reference photo. Jeez, why couldn't I think of that? It was one of the first paintings I did where I used a reference photo. I was like, wow, I could make it look a little bit better. But this one kind of strayed from the reference photo. I kept going with it. I have this thing where I keep going with paintings and they just, sometimes I ruin them. At least in my eyes, I ruin them. And someone else recently told me, Space and Jason, that I go too far sometimes. Like I should slow down and stop. It's made me think, maybe I should stop. And maybe I should stop saying, my paintings are never finished. This could be done right now. I always say if somebody is curious about it, wants to buy it, it's done then. That's when it's done. But, I might pick this one back up again. You never know. Anyways, message. Why did I paint this? I like cats. I really do. I really like cats. The cool thing about this that I've been continuing with this one is the back of this one. This one is really cool. Look at that. That is some. I don't know if you can see all the colors on here. I should try to increase the colors and see if I can enhance them in some way. That would be cool. But look at that. I don't even know if that does it justice. Sheesh. I don't even know. I don't even know where to go to the settings where there's like, I don't even know. Anyways, I hope you can see that. I'm going to check out later in this replay. See if you can. But it's very bright. It's bright. Look at. It's very bright. Maybe if I put it close up like that, you see all the detail of that face. This face shows up a lot in my stuff. I don't know. Sometimes I have a clear definition, and then sometimes I don't. I'm just like, it's a face. And then I did a bunch of cool lines, and it looks trippy. And I'm like, whoa. And then there's like a skull up here and some weird symbol back there. Sometimes I let it just come out. And I heard this recently that intuitive art is more emotional, right? I had this theory in my head pop up because people who are collectors, rich people, collect art that is abstract. And usually abstract art is very emotional. It's very trauma-based. Not always. Just sometimes people just, get it, I gotta get it out. Rah, and they just throw paint and do whatever. It's like very emotional, right? What if these people are collecting the art and doing something with that emotional energy that's trapped in the painting? I don't know. Just an idea. Just a thought I had the other day. I was like, well, yeah. What if there's a lot of intent in that painting and that's why it won't sell? Because you put too much intent into it, Like sometimes too much intent could hurt a painting. I don't know. Sometimes I think people paint stuff without any connection to it so that it's easier to sell. Sometimes you do something fast, get it out of there, not attached to it. But then, I don't know, I'm so attached to my paintings. I want to know everybody who buys them. I want to see where it's going to live. I want to see what wall it's going to be on, I kind of want to know if it's going to be above a hot tub. That would be great. Hot tub art. I only make art for yoga studios, hot tub layers, and music studios. Do you have a music studio? Do you want an album cover? Do you have a yoga studio or a meditation room? Those are good places to have art, right? Or a library. Do you have a den or a library? Ooh, a nursery, perhaps? Let me show you another piece of art. Why did you paint that, Michael? I was sitting there one day, and I was thinking, what's an unlikely mashup of things? I don't know what I came across, some wedding dress. I was just throwing around ideas and mashing them together. I was like a lizard and a wizard and a lizard in a dress. And wait, I don't know, a lizard in the desert in a dress, getting ready to get married. It just came to me like in a bizarre way. It just flashed into my head. I'm like, I gotta paint that, I guess. So, and so I just painted it. I saw it clearly, and I put it on the canvas. And I did use a reference photo for the face of the lizard, and I just made up the rest. But it's fun. I like the background. I wish the colors would be a lot clearer here. Maybe they are. Maybe they're gonna get clear. Maybe they're not. What's on the back of this? Whoa! See, this is a very intuitive painting, and sometimes things just pop out of me and I don't even know why. I like to flip the canvas over and keep painting. And I see stuff in there I could bring out more. Like I could bring out a lot more in there. I could see all kinds of faces and insects and things. And sometimes I feel like that's the stuff I see under my eyelids. So that's why I painted that. How about another one, Michael? All right, let's see. Message. We got two more here. Oh, the classic. This one's classic. Whew, here we go. AI, robots. Look at that. There it is. I said to myself, what would it look like if a soul came out of a robot or went into a robot or somehow decided, oh, look, there's a body that is immortal. Like, can we put a consciousness in there? Like maybe this is the consciousness escaping. Like this is like 100, 200 years later, possibly, and this robot has like got through the portal and he's on the other side, and finally the soul that the human was trapped in, the ghost in the machine, has finally come out, and then it goes on to another portal, and that's like how he's traveling through. He's making some art over here. This is like, see this one. This one's like a dream I was thinking about. I'd started this one. I have video of this. I started this at a show in Ashland, Oregon, to live music, and it was what's the name of that guy? Something Massive, Alkion Massive. I don't remember the name. It's very strange music. It's very like jazzy, dance hall reggae. It was strange. It was weird. I remember going, "What is this?" It's very experimental, and then this was. I have to find out who that was. Like I go back and I listen to the videos. I'm like, what is playing in the background? Anyways, I painted this to that. I started this, and I originally had an idea for like a multi-armed robot and stuff. I wanted them to be painting a molecule over there, and then over here like conducting electricity, and then holding a crystal in his hand. That's what I did. And then this one is just like reaching up towards the sky, and I've redone the hands multiple times. I only like that one over there. That hand. I'm not a fan of this hand. The hands I need to redo. And, after a while of refining my detail technique, I can definitely go back and fix that. And sometimes that's when a painting is not, you're like, I need to go back. I have more skills now. I can pull it off. So, this is the explanation of this one. I call it, oh, what's that word? Transhumanism. It's a vision of transhumanism. Maybe. All right, we're going to go to the next painting. And the next painting is, I like to call it, this one is fun because I never do two sides of these big paintings. I always only ever do one side because it's got that thing in the middle. See, it's got that board there to keep it together. And it's just too big, and you have like two parts in it. But this one, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna paint over it. Paint over that part. It still looks cool. Anyways, I had a lot of pink, or what is that? Mauve, fuchsia. I don't know what is that. It's Oliver tree color. All right, so this is like a psychedelic mess. This is just a mess of teeth. It's very gritty. It's very, if you could read paintings, you could tell what influenced this for sure. It's like very cartoony and squishy and bubbly and balloony. It's kind of like a balloon friend of some sort. I really like the depth of it and the teeth of it. Like I really, with this painting, my original idea was I paint too many eyes. I gotta paint some teeth. It's good upside down too. I really like this gradient here from the pink into the yellow. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see that? I hope so. Anyways, check out images of this on like my website, or Instagram has a really good picture of this. But this was fun. And I think it's pretty much done. There's a couple little lines I can straighten out, some highlights I could put on here, some like little dot highlights to make it the bubbles pop out a little more, make it look more bubbly. Bubbly. All right, next painting. Why did you paint that? Let's go see. There's one more painting left. One painting left. And that painting is this jellyfish mermaid. I wanted to paint a jellyfish mermaid. I'd only seen a few, and it was during Mermay a couple years ago. And Mermay is when you just draw and paint mermaids all May, the month of May. You just mermaid it up. And so that's why I painted this, because it was like the painting I did for that month. I did a bunch of other little drawings that month, but this was the painting, and I wanted to paint a jellyfish mermaid. And whoa. I would say this painting is very fertile. You know, it's very flowy. It's very feminine. It's got like a fertilistic, very fertile. You know what I mean? Like there's a snail. It's very slow and aquatic and very just very flowy. It's got that whole flow. I think that was the theme of it to me. It was like a lot of depth and a lot of flow. There's so much detail in this painting, like up in here in these jellyfish, and they're like little spaceships. And then back here, there's like a little cave. Whoop, did I get you guys? There's like a little cave that goes in this little fortress right here. There's all kinds of cool detail in this painting. If I have time to edit, I'll just show you a close up right here. But maybe I could just do this. This is might be efficient, but look at, there's so much good stuff. I definitely am gonna make prints of this someday. Someday you will be Prince. Really love her face. Look at it. Look in there. That snail is quite big. I need to maybe trim that. It's like, I don't know, shade it. Like right now I'm looking at it and I'm like, I need to shade behind the snail so that it doesn't blend into that tree so much right there. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that. Anyways, this was, why did you paint that? Why did you paint that? People want to know. If you're an artist and you're posting stuff, put it in there. That's it. I painted this because I really love the Grateful Dead or whatever the thing is, like whatever it is, the stuff. So there you go. Go get it. And come back next time. I'll do a few more paintings. Why did you paint that? And you know, maybe it's a good idea for your videos. Go use that prompt right there. Put it on the screen. What I did is I got a bunch of kids to say it. My mom and the two kids here, I said, say, why did you paint that? And I recorded it and I put it at the beginning of my video. So it's like my own audio. So why did you paint that? And then every time at the beginning of the video, I put, why did you paint that? You know, I do the overlay and then just put the words at the top. Like, because I have it captioned, the video, but I just pointed it towards the wall when I recorded them. So when I uploaded it, I captioned it. So when I put it as an overlay on my video, I just trim it down. I crop it so it's just the words, the captions, and then I put that at the very top. You'll see if you see one of my videos on TikTok. But it's cool. You make your own audio and then use it over and over again. Why did you paint that? I'll stick it in here if I can. All right. Till next time, we'll come back and hear why I painted the next thing. All right. So go watch these videos right here. These two videos right here. Go click on the screen. Click right now. Stay here and watch some more stuff. Or listen to this playlist or whatever I got right here. There's stuff. It might be music. I don't know. Did you click it yet? You're clicking it? What are you waiting for? Did you click it?